Welcome to the Informed and Oblivious podcast, episode 44. I am sleep deprived Phil, and this is What Day Is in Raymond.
It's hard to tell sometimes. Doing the overnights, I start on one day, finish on a different day, come in some mornings, leave some nights.
Yeah, you had day trainings this week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all sorts of discombobulated.
Do they make all the night people come in during the day for that training?
Yes. So yeah, me and the other night shift tech had come in for the arc flash training, as well as the night shift engineering guys. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And the night shift supervisors too.
It's crazy that they don't just make it like maybe the training's like later in the day, so you guys come in a little bit early, or like very first thing in the morning, so you just stay a little bit late. Like it's middle of the day and it's like half a day or something.
Well, it was 8 to 12 for like the in class, and then those of us that had to do the hands on was like an hour after lunch.
Scared of his cabinets now.
I haven't been scared of 3-phase cabinets in years.
Yeah, but are you realizing you probably should be scared of 3-phase cabinets now?
Nah.
No, you just want the ejector seat one day and get knocked back by some arc flash. Have your shirt melt to your skin.
It's extremely unlikely.
But never the chance is never zero.
Yeah. But I have ADHD, so
that was like
I don't worry about what might happen in the future.
Side tangent from the sleep deprivation thing. The arc flash thing reminded me. I was laughing. Somebody was showing me. They have a new work truck for like power lines that has like a robot that'll do like the fixing for you. You just lift the robot up and the robot does all the fix.
Oh.
And I was like, that's the kind of the robot replacement that I want to see. And the guys were like, yeah, but like there's a skilled like lineman that could have been doing that and blah blah blah. I was like, do you know how dangerous that job is?
It's super dangerous.
And I was like, and now
they make a shit ton of money because of it, but
yeah, and I was like, now there's a skilled lineman in that truck controlling the robot.
Yeah,
because the robot's not automated.
Yeah, it's still not going to do it by itself. Yeah,
it's like the surgeons now. Surgeons don't even like sit in the operating theater. A lot of them, they're sitting in the other like
controlling
room,
the little robots,
controlling the robot. Yeah, but I was laughing. I was like, you guys are like pushing this in the wrong direction. I was like, that's what robots should replace first.
Exactly, yeah.
The dangerous and dirty jobs. Yeah. Not we get AI to replace the secretary. Replace that stuff first so everybody can be secretaries.
Yeah. He had showed us a bunch of videos during the arc flash training shit, and most of it was, I think it was mostly like scare tactic. Because like there wasn't a whole lot of like details on the training. It was mostly just like, here are the rules and here's why, you know? And then a whole bunch of videos of people getting electrocuted essentially. And I was like, they probably should have put a warning before that class that he was gonna show you motherfuckers dying on camera.
Yeah, graphic material. Yeah, like the forklift training class. Like should literally show an image of the guy getting crushed. And he's like, yeah, he's like, we scaled back this training a lot. He's like, it used to be a lot worse, the stuff we showed you. And I was like, oh, okay, that's great. I was like, not like I wasn't, cautious around heavy equipment before anyway. Like,
yep.
He's like, yeah, people were getting upset. And I was like, yeah, but they kind of should be. You should show them the upsetting stuff so they take it seriously.
Yeah, that's why I think they showed it, because You should be careful around the equipment. One of them was there was guys like in like a big, it was like a 20-30 foot tall truck. I don't know exactly what it was, but they were like moving some like heavy equipment like on wheels through something, and they had like the power lines overhead. So they had them with the with like the big like grounding sticks or whatever to like hold the power lines up as the thing went underneath it, and you could see it on camera, and he's like, and so they saw this line, and there's this nice big black line on the camera, but they did not see the one next to it, and like you could hardly see it on the camera, but like he freeze framed it and saw it, and like, here it is, and so they're going underneath it, and they move the one out of the way, and the other one clips the guy in the head, and he fucking convulses for a minute, and then falls down and falls off the fucking thing.
Yeah. And that's not even that much voltage by comparison if it was that thin a wire.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny.
Sketchy. He's like, yeah, had he been wearing a fucking electrical safe hard hat, he probably would have been okay.
Yeah.
Just cupped him right in the forehead.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think he would need the full lava suit. He probably would have been safer with the full lava suit.
Yeah. Well, it was an arc flash. That was a contact shock.
Yeah, I know. But if you're shorted out by a power line, the rubber in your shoes isn't going to save you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If you had the full suit on, that
yeah. Well, he was saying that should have been wearing the electrical hard hat and a non-conductive hat that it would have touched instead of his fucking forehead.
Well, yeah, but again, all matters how much voltage is there. Because you need better than that in some cases. But regardless, I laugh how many people that do this kind of stuff that don't even know what an electrical burn looks like. I had to educate a few people on that, and they're like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "As you know, an electrical burn is not like a normal burn, right?" And they're like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Here, let me show you some pictures." And they're like, I was like, yeah, that's what happens when electricity goes in you and shoots out you. I was like, it's a different thing. It's not like, it's not a surface level burn. It is going in you, going through, and going out. That's entry-exit wounds.
I love this statistic that if you've been struck by lightning, you're like 5 times more likely to get struck by lightning again.
But how more likely are you to win a lottery?
I don't know.
I want to see that Venn diagram. You ever see the comedian that does the Venn diagram for different things? I want to see the overlap of what's the overlap between people struck by lightning and people that won the lottery. Because, the joke is you always avoid some near-death situation. Like, you better go buy a lottery ticket.
I don't know. It might exist. You want me to look it up?
Yeah, look that up. I want to know. I want to know the amount of lottery winners that have also been struck by lightning. And if there's more than a 1% overlap, I got to start going out in a storm with a metal rod.
I don't think it counts if you're trying to get struck.
Why not?
Several individuals have defied astronomical odds by being both struck by lightning and winning the lottery. Notable case is Canadian Peter McCarthy, survived a lightning strike at 14 and won $1 million in 2015. So this lists at least 4 people who have been struck by lightning and won the lottery. Not a lot.
But how high a lot? Because $1 million's okay.
Oh, except so
one guy won $20,
100,000, and Brianna Elsel struck by lightning. Her mother bought a ticket that won $20.
Yeah, that's not.
And then this one doesn't say he won anything. It just says it's just he was struck by lightning shortly after buying tickets. All right, so maybe not.
Yeah. All right, very little overlap. That's disappointing.
Although not surprising.
It's just funny to me the people that are struck by lightning anyway. I'm like, do you guys not know the warning signs?
Nah.
Oh, my hair's standing up. That's weird. Zzz.
You get low.
Yeah.
When the air around you starts getting fuzzy, drop to the fucking ground.
Yeah. Oh, man. That thunderstorm looks like it's getting really close. I'm out here in a very open field right now. Whoops.
Yep.
I don't know. It's crazy. But anyway, back to the sleep deprivation part. So yours is yours is inflicted by work.
Well, I mean, I volunteered, but
mine is yeah, but at least you're doing a productive thing. Mine is self-inflicted by the
your own fucking brain.
Yes, the great phenomenon of sleep procrastination.
Mm-hmm.
Love that one. But it's worse because I've been getting home tired, so I just go to lay down, and then my brain's like, we're going to set an alarm so we get up in an hour and a half and do fun stuff. And then alarm goes off, and then I don't get up. But the alarm keeps going off. So now I'll set an alarm
so your
for
sleep
9.
Is still fucked.
I'll set an alarm for 9, but by the time I realize that I need to shut it off, it's 2 a.m. So I've been waking up every 5 minutes for hours. Which I want a sleep study on what that does to your brain. It's probably
not great.
My sleep. Yeah. And then the one day it was so bad, and then I got up at 3 a.m. and I was like, all right, I'm not gonna make the mistake of going back and I stayed up, And then that night I was up till midnight, so I didn't like rectify my sleep problem at all. Just compounded it, and now I just feel like a zombie.
Yeah.
Which is why we didn't.
As do I.
Yeah, which is why we didn't record last night, because I finally got to the point where like it was like giving me heart palpitations, and I was like, I needed to go home and lay down. My dad last night was like, "You okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm tired. I just need to." I want to say like, "Yeah, I'm having a major crash out right now. I need to go to bed." And I know my mom listens to this, so now you know why I left, Mom. But
Yeah.
I'm okay. Don't worry. I just needed sleep.
I'm all sorts of discombobulated. I did.
And even then, I didn't really get to sleep because I did the same thing last night. I set an alarm because I was trying to like only do it a little bit to get up to record, and never happened. Well, I mean, it did happen. It happened at 4 a.m. and then you got called
right when
into
I got
work.
called into work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I. So yeah, no, Sunday I did 7 p.m. to 1:30, and then Monday 3 p.m. to 7 a.m. Tuesday 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Wednesday 3 p.m. to 7 a.m. Friday 3 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then Friday again at 4 a.m. I got called in.
Oh my gosh, dude, you are all sorts of messed up.
And
then you're working tonight, and then tomorrow night, right?
Oh yeah, so when I was leaving at 2 after the training on Friday, and boss was complaining about not having anybody to work. I was like, all right, you can have him call me in an emergency.
This is crazy, dude.
And then they did. I got a call and a message first at like midnight, and I was like, so I heard you were coming in tonight. I said, well, you can call me for emergency. He's like, all right, well, this isn't an emergency then, so sorry I bothered you. Like, all right. And then a few hours later, hey, can you come in? Yeah.
Like, yeah, I messed up. It's actually an emergency.
No, it was a different thing. I also wasn't able to fix it.
Yeah.
Sleep. It'd be a day shift problem.
Sleep is such a funny thing. I feel like my sleep, even when I do get to sleep normally, is messed up anyway. I should probably go get a sleep study. But I don't feel like sleeping with a Darth Vader mask. Especially when the problem is solvable. Just lose weight.
Right.
My end-all be-all solution to everything, lose weight.
And then we keep not losing weight.
Yeah, and you know what else people keep not doing?
Liking and subscribing?
Yeah, hitting that follow button. Come on, people. Mm-hmm. We see you lurking in the corners there. If you made it this far, you might as well just hit that little button.
Yeah. You've made it past the average view duration at this point, so.
Yeah, we'd love to subscribe, but a like really helps too.
Yeah.
Feel free, hit it up.
A comment if you're feeling squirrely.
And if you don't like YouTube, they're raising the YouTube premium prices. I got that question recently.
I didn't check to see what it was, but.
If you don't, I think it's like $5 increase. But if you don't like YouTube because they're raising prices, you could also find us on Rumble and Spotify. And as we get into the summer jam and hopefully a more normalized sleep schedule, we'll put out some shorts on the TikTokies and on the other platforms too. But
eventually finish uploading our snowboarding trip.
Yeah, I mean you could still do that. Camelback's still open. I got their video yesterday. They were like, we're open through the weekend now, and then next week they're switching to weekend only operations, and they're just going to open on the weekends as long as they can, and they're combining weekend operations with daily beach parties, which I don't know what that means, but I'm here for it. But I don't know how much they're going to get past next week because next week's going to be in the 90s.
Crazy.
I don't know if you looked at
jumping up from fucking like 30 to 90 in a week is crazy.
Well, don't get excited because then it's going to go back down to the upper 60s. So definitely before you like leave, next week, not this weekend. It's still going to be cold as shit. Don't do it Sunday night. But before you leave, or Monday or midday Monday, you're probably going to wake up and want to hit the air conditioning in your room.
I haven't hooked that back up yet.
Yeah, you might want to do that.
And put that back in the window.
Yeah. Because it's going to be cold this weekend, but it's going to be so freaking hot next week.
Yeah, I'll be pretty grumpy if I come home and try to go to sleep.
I know it's going to be so hot because it's going to be 90 degrees, so it's going to be hot down here. So definitely cool your room down. I don't know if you care about the rest of downstairs, other than Guinness's comfort, but.
I mean, it's nice to have this room cooler when I'm sitting in here.
Yeah, I don't care. But I'll just let you know. Next week, heat wave week, you're gonna want air conditioning, and then it's gonna be nice spring weather back again, which I'm excited for.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool, give me the spring weather. Because while the war in Iran may have raised gas prices, it seemed like the natural gas didn't go up that much. So at least it was a reasonable electric bill last month.
Yay.
Thank God for that. But yeah, so much craziness going on in the world in the past 2 weeks, I guess, because we didn't really.
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks.
It's only been 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, last week.
But a lot's happened.
Last weekend was Easter.
Uh-huh.
And then because of Easter dinner, didn't record because I got stuck there, and then you were working on Easter, and then the shenanigans now. But so to our Orthodox friends out there, happy Easter, because it's Orthodox Easter weekend now.
Okay.
Yeah, which they get further and further apart. I think next year they're like a month apart. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like Easter, everybody else's Easter is going to be the end of March. Theirs is going to be in May. And then it goes back to being the same date again. So like I had the one guy I work with explain it to me that they drift because of the calendar. So what happens is like every 4 years, after 4 years it merges back. So they get like a month apart. And then it goes back to being the same week, and then like drifts again, which is very funny.
Interesting.
Yeah. So next year a month apart, and then the year after that it'll be the same day.
Whatever.
I don't know. I found it interesting. So we got Easter happened. We got the Artemis 2 mission, which I thought they were landing on the moon because they were hyping it all up like they were landing on the moon. They just did a drive-by on the moon.
They just went around it.
They're like, hey, we see you.
Did they do the old slingshot where they went around the back of it and then back out? Okay.
Yeah. So that was fun. Last night watching them just sit in that capsule for an hour and a half on the water because dude, I don't know why the operation to get them out of it takes so long, but like literally for like 30 minutes the boats were just circling the capsule. And I'm like,
they're still doing the water landing?
Yeah, but like why are they circling the capsule? Just go open the door. And they're like, well, we lost some radio communications from like the boat, so we're trying to get a sat phone. And I'm like, what do you need a sat phone
just
for?
Open the door.
Like even if they can't hear you, knock on the outside so they know it's safe to open it, and then they open it or you open it, whatever. And then they're like building this raft structure around it, so like they get everything settled, and rather than just pulling them onto the boats, they got to build this like raft flotilla thing around it to then get them out. And I'm like, this is the silliest thing I've ever seen in my life. Mm-hmm. I'm like, why don't we just get one of those like GTA style like Army helicopters with the hook the capsule, pick it up, put it on a boat, and then you're done. Yeah. Maybe not to land. It's kind of far out, but at least to the Navy boat that's right there, drop it on the deck of the boat and get the people out. Man.
For real, yeah.
I'd be so pissed if I just spent all that time in that tight little capsule and then I'm sitting there getting rocked back and forth on the ocean with no point of reference, because that's the worst part. They can't see out the windows after re-entry because they've just been like scorched up. So like you're just sitting there like rocking. I'd be throwing up.
I'd be like, bleh. Well, yeah, you wouldn't be an astronaut to begin with.
No. I don't know how I'd do in that confined space for that long. I feel like maybe I could be okay, but I also feel like I'd freak out and be like, we gotta open the door.
You would 100% freak out, yeah.
No, I've worked in some pretty tight spaces. You forget all the HVAC stuff I did as a kid.
They're in there for pretty long. You also don't do well with motion sickness shit, so.
Well, yeah, but I don't tend to have a problem on both. But I don't think I'd be able to do a cruise ship because I can't do air mattresses, so I don't think a cruise ship would work. But like when I'm out on a boat, I don't get nauseous from it.
Okay,
it doesn't bother me at all, even if the waves are rough. Like
you've never been in space though.
Well, I mean, why would I get motion sickness in space?
Well, wouldn't you get motion sickness in space?
Get like the opposite of motion sickness. There's no gravity. The motion sickness is the water swishing back and forth in your inner ear.
Yeah, so like, if the shit in your ear wasn't right, I imagine, because like the astronauts say it makes them sick when they go up.
I don't know. It's only one way to find out. Go work on that moon base when they build it. Because yet again, I was like, why do we go back to the moon? And then I found out China's going to the moon in 2030, and we're trying to go to the moon in 2028. So we're literally living
in
out
another space race.
Yeah, we're literally living out the plot of Netflix's Space Force. I'm like, Jesus.
Uh-huh.
Like, are we really doing this? We're going to fight wars on the moon now?
Yep.
I just hope they do it on the side that faces the planet so I can get a telescope out and
watch it.
Look at them go.
Have to have a pretty strong telescope.
Why?
To view fighting on the moon? You have to have a pretty powerful telescope.
No, it doesn't have to be that strong.
No?
No.
I feel like you need a pretty strong one. Like more than the average person has in their house.
No, you could probably get like an $800 telescope and see the moon.
You can see the moon, but are you going to be able to see the people fighting on the moon?
Dude, on a regular telescope, I could see the moon. Like on a hobby telescope. An $800 telescope, I feel I could see the surface of the moon. The light pollution might prevent me from seeing it very well.
Telescope can see
the surface of the moon. There you go.
So moon landing site.
I could tell you it doesn't exist because it was fake.
It is not possible to see the Apollo moon landing sites or equipment from Earth using even the largest amateur telescopes. They are too small and lack the resolution. Well, you cannot see the lunar module. You can observe the general Apollo landing areas. So yeah, you can't even see the fucking landing modules up there with regular telescopes.
Why?
Because that's fucking far as shit.
It's not that far.
How far is the moon?
What if I used a high resolution camera to take images through that telescope?
238,900 miles. That's fucking far.
Yeah, but if I took pictures outside the window of an airplane, I could zoom it in. So like, why couldn't I just take pictures with my phone through? Like, if I took pictures through an amateur's telescope, could I zoom it in enough to see?
No, it says there's not enough resolution for that.
Yeah, for you to see. For you. What if I hooked it up to a camera and then used the camera to zoom in?
I sincerely doubt it.
Why not?
Yeah, I don't think I'm sure there are telescopes that can do that. I just don't think you're buying one to put it in your house.
See, this is the bullshit that makes fucking the people doubt the moon landing in the first place. Like, you're telling me that, like, with the zoom and resolution on a modern camera, then magnified through the best hobby or like the best like at home telescope you could get, I wouldn't be able to see it just a little bit. It might be fuzzy. I'll grant you it might be fuzzy.
How far can you see with a good at-home telescope? Good home telescope, 6 to 8 inch aperture. That's can detect objects billions of light years away, and clearly resolve galaxies.
Yeah, okay.
We're getting conflicting answers here.
Yeah. See that bullshit? What are you talking about?
Or maybe is that just seeing the?
6 to 8 inch apertures like this big.
How far can we see with the telescope on? Oh no, that's flat earther shit. No, what I'm looking for.
You can't see past the firmament.
Videos. None of this is giving me quite the information I want.
It makes me think of a Christian Bale thing. It's just like, it's not possible. Well, why isn't, you stupid bastard? Why isn't it?
Tested the very large telescope.
Yeah. But see, it's in 2002. 2002. I'm talking 2026 with a modern resolution. Like,
bro, your phone only zooms up to like 100 times, and even then it's blurry as shit. Your phone isn't going to help much.
Not a phone, a camera, a modern resolution camera, like the best camera money can buy, hooked up to the best telescope money can buy for at home. You're telling me I couldn't see something on the moon?
You're just trying to double up. You might as well just put a telescope in front of a telescope if you're trying to do that. Like, that's not.
What do you mean? That's exactly how it works. What do you mean?
Like you're talking about getting a camera. Like, if you're trying to do that, just get multiple telescopes and stack them in front of each other and look at it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is there's cameras that take better pictures than you can observe with your eyes.
Yeah, but not by that much. Not 200,000 miles.
I don't know. So we get satellite imagery, right? Like how far do the satellites see and how big are those cameras?
How far are the satellites from Earth?
Yeah. Spy satellites.
Satellite distances vary 99 miles to 22,000 miles. So a fraction.
That's a fucking huge variation.
Uh-huh. All right, let's do Google Earth satellites. Google Earth satellites between 280 and 435 miles from the surface.
Yeah, what size camera do they have?
Google Earth satellite camera. Google Earth does not own its satellites. Interesting. Cameras on these satellites are large, specialized instruments featuring a 3.6 foot aperture and are roughly 5 meters tall. And even then, they take blurry images at 400 miles.
Yeah,
and you're trying to look 200,000 miles.
Yeah, but it's also because they're looking through the atmosphere, but during the day.
I'm just saying, you need to go to like an observatory for a telescope that's going to see the moon.
Okay.
But you can do that. I'm just saying you're not going to get one that you can do it at all.
Well, let's find this one out because we're gonna help the moon landing people. Can you see the moon landing through an observatory telescope?
An observatory. Can you see the moon landing from? No, you cannot see the moon landing site's equipment or footprints from Earth-based observatory or telescope. Really? Too small to be...
Do you see why people don't believe this shit?
I figured from like the big ass like observatories you'd be able to see that shit. Can you see the moon landings? I don't know if I trust Reddit. India's orbiter Q recently took a picture of it. Yeah, it's just barely visible, but...
Dude, that's from when it went around the moon and it can't take a good picture? What are we saying?
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah, the Indian spaceship was the one that let all the tardigrades out, I think. Remember, they were all concerned about all the tardigrades?
The orbiter Q was a fucking spaceship? Not like
yes, India sent a thing around the moon.
Oh, shit. Man, our cameras suck.
Yeah, that's the problem, right?
Well, that's surprising. Okay. It does not surprise me that you wouldn't be able to see it with a consumer telescope, but it does surprise me that we don't have any that can.
Google if we've used the Hubble telescope to take pictures of the moon landing site.
Hubble Space Telescope has been used to observe the moon's surface, though not for standard imaging, as the moon is too close and... what?
Man, they're really dancing around this one, huh?
Why can't the Hubble Space Telescope see astronauts on the moon?
This is too bright, dude.
What do you got from me here, Scientific American? Even Earth's mightiest telescopes aren't up to the task of imaging Apollo lunar landing sites. A lack of resolution is the biggest reason. It's back in If NASA's Hubble is powerful enough to see intricate details of galaxies, why can't it see? Yeah, the moon. I was taking it into understanding. I don't need the preamble. Just give me the fucking answer. God damn it! I hate these articles. Isn't just magnification? No, because the magnification only makes things bigger. Easy to demonstrate with the photograph. You can zoom in. Yeah. Problem is that resolution is inherent to the telescope itself, meaning that the major boosts in resolution usually require upgrading to a much bigger telescope. And no matter how big your telescope becomes, it will still have a limited resolution. When the light from an infinitesimally small dot, such as a distant star, passes the telescope, it's like it's spread out a little bit inside the telescope optics. Fundamental property called diffraction can't be avoided. Okay, what's that got to do with the fucking moon? All this leads to a surprising result. The telescope has a mirror that is 2.5 meters wide. The James Webb Space Telescope has a mirror that is 6.5 meters across. So you'd expect it to have a higher resolution. At some wavelengths, it does. At the shortest wavelength, it can see 0.6 micron, and there's a resolution that's technically better than the Hubble's. Why can't we view the moon? Fuck this article. Just give me just tell me why I can't view the moon. Brings us back to the conspiracy theories about gripe about spotting the blueprints on the moon. Galaxies are typically tens of millions or even billions of light years from Earth. At those distances, Hubble can resolve objects a few light years across, tens of trillions of kilometers at best. So while it looks like we're seeing galaxies in great detail in those spectacular Hubble images, the smallest thing we've seen is still tremendously large. Meanwhile, the moon is only about 380,000 kilometers from us, and Hubble, at that distance, Hubble's resolution is surprisingly limits it to resolving objects no smaller than about 90 meters across. So there you go. We can see the surface, but
so the problem is the field of view is in the wrong part.
We would still just need bigger telescopes. With like
no, it's like
focal.
when you set up field of view of the camera. The problem is that the moon is too close to the Hubble's field of view, that focal point.
Oh, okay. I see what you're getting at.
Yeah, so it's saying it can only resolve things 90 meters across because if it's that close to its field of view, it would cut off the edges.
Okay.
So what
I thought I was saying it was a resolution issue due to the lens.
Yeah, but they're using resolution incorrectly. It's its field of view. Because if it's saying it can only resolve an object 90 meters across, that means it's too close.
That distance, yeah.
Yeah.
Astronomers measure resolution as an angle on the sky. There are 90 degrees from horizon to zenith. We divide degrees into 60 arc minutes, and 60 arc minutes per degree, and 60 arc seconds per arc minute. For example, half a degree wide in the sky, which is 30 arc minutes or 1,800 arc seconds. A telescope's maximum resolution then is the minimum separation that it can distinguish between two objects, expressed as an angle. This is over my head.
Yeah, but how many parsecs is that?
Not a lot.
But yeah, no, it's because when you set up if you set up a camera and you have the field of view of the camera, then you get the focal point. And at some point in that field of view of the camera, and you move an object closer or further away, you have the focal point where its best focus is. Mm-hmm. Anything before that's going to be blurry. Anything past that's going to be blurry. And you can change that focal point by adjusting the lens and everything, which I'm sure that's why they can see things a little bit further. But at a certain point, no matter what, if an object's too close, you can't adjust that back far enough to make it not blurry.
So to view the battles on the moon, we'll need to have like ships out there like recording it and streaming it to us.
That sucked.
I'm sure Netflix will put a satellite out there to fucking stream it to us.
Really disappointed by that. Oh, well, actually, do we have any that's another question. Do we have any satellites that are pointed at the moon to take pictures of the moon?
I don't know. I feel like
we don't have any satellites orbiting the moon, but do we have any pointed at them? Because I feel like you could use one of the Google Earth cameras then, and if it was pointed at the moon, would be at the right focal distance. You know what I mean?
Satellites looking at moon. Multiple satellites actively orbit and monitor the moon. The NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter is mapped the surface. I mean, so we have satellites around the moon looking at the moon.
Wait a second. Yeah. When did NASA's orbiter do that?
Map surface in high resolution since 2009.
Okay, does that have high resolution pictures of the lunar landing?
Yeah, I think it said that does. Yeah.
We'll Google that one.
For tots.
Yeah.
Well,
are you serious?
That's still pretty shitty.
Dude, come on, man. Like, I hate to side with the people that are like, we never landed on the moon, but like the pictures aren't very convincing. And like you could buy it back in like the 70s, right? But that was 2009. You're telling me they couldn't take a better picture? Bro, come on.
Yeah, those are still pretty shitty.
And again, the whole Google imaging thing, while that's messed up, is because you have the whole atmosphere to contend with. There's no atmosphere on the moon. What's getting in the way?
What did it say more recently got better photos? Was the Indian one?
Yeah.
What was that called?
I don't know.
Not that. I don't remember what the fuck that was.
Yeah, but even the Indian photos weren't that great.
They weren't any better? Okay.
They were a little bit better, but it's just like, I'm like, yeah, you guys aren't like helping your case here at all.
Those were taken on there. No. Orbit photos. Yeah, there's just no good ones. Okay. There's just no decent photos that weren't taken on it.
Yeah, and this is why conspiracy theorists get like so credence, and like all the weird things that happen like when they're doing stuff in like. I love the people that like look at all the times that they were showing us something in space, like the guy like has got the hammer that's floating, and then he lets go of the playing card, and the playing card drops to the ground, and they're like, haha. But the problem is like some of these things I've looked into it where they're like, oh, look at it. People have made like AI videos of these videos.
So you can't trust what you're seeing. Yeah.
So there like are some like weird things that happen in some of these things. But again, stuff behaves weirdly when you're in it's not a complete zero gravity environment.
It's extremely low gravity.
Yes. So things behave weirdly, but then on top of that, people like just edit things in later.
Yeah, you can also like unknowingly impart force on something. If it's a playing card, you've got like static electricity that could bring in the direction or whatever.
Yes. Just like they had in the Artemis, they brought a little plushie up there, and people were saying, "Oh, look, you could see like letters through the green screen of the plushie showing the green screen because it's the same thing. Like it's showing like a pass through." And I'm like, or stay with me here. They green screened the plushie after the fact, and then now they spread that video around to make you feel like there was a green screen. Like. Like, people don't realize that those video editings go both ways.
Yeah, you can easily chroma key that afterwards.
Yeah. So, like, but that's... Oop. Well, you got daylight? What was that?
I don't know. It just came on out of nowhere.
Like, time to wake up, Starshine. The Earth says hello. But, yeah, no, that's my favorite part about the moon stuff is, like... as soon as anything like that happens again, all those videos circulate again, and it's so funny to watch people like lose their minds. And again, we've talked about this before. I 100% believe we landed on the moon. I semi-believe that Westinghouse made cameras good enough to record the stuff on the moon, but I either believe that like the moon landing happened before they told us, and they showed us pre-recorded images of it, Like, i.e., because they didn't, in case it didn't go well, they didn't want to just like show that
That's
live.
entirely possible. Yeah.
Like, or they filmed it in the studio because you couldn't be able to see it live. I don't know. My doubt is the live broadcast of it. I don't know if they live broadcasted it back then.
Yeah, I mean, it would not surprise me that they would. Yeah, in case this goes bad, we don't want everybody seeing it while it's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I feel like it happened before, and then we got showed the stuff after, or it was like they faked it in a studio, like they were saying, and they only did that in case it went bad.
I love Ron Funch's one bit. Like, you don't believe in any conspiracy theories? You think the government's just batting 1,000 and telling us the whole truth all the time?
Yeah.
That's a strong stance to take.
Yeah. It's like, I'm in charge of 2 kids. And
I lie to them all the time.
Yeah.
That's a really good fucking point. If you don't believe in if you think the government's just telling the truth all the time,
Yeah.
I'm not sure I trust you as a person anymore.
Yeah. Like, and like, where they're like, oh, we know. I'm like, I don't doubt that we made it up there. And they're like, but we lost the technology. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, they weren't stored on computers. It's some filing system somewhere. And then somebody decades later was like, hey, Jimmy, you got the calculations on what we did here?
Yeah.
No, I can't find it anywhere.
Yeah. No, we threw everything out in that office a week ago.
Yeah, and you got to redo that again. And for people that are like, no, that's not true. I'm like, think of the most important person in your office. Now think of if they left, how far back that would set your company for the stuff that they had in their brain or in their notes that you weren't aware of. Now imagine an entire like decades worth of space program doing that.
Especially once like objective completed and they didn't really have a reason to do it again. Like, yeah, we made it.
Yeah.
Is there anything we need to do on the moon? Not right now. All right, shelve that for later. Like it's filed away and forgotten about.
Yeah,
like,
and when people are like, no, they would definitely do that. I want you to also remember the last time you told your boss that something was really, really important and we should probably like note this for later. And they're like, yeah, sure. And then a couple of years later, that same situation comes up. And they're like, yeah, did you write that thing down that I told you to do? Oh, no, we didn't do that. Like, that's why it's like some conspiracy theories are conspiracy theories. They're just, it's human behavior. You shelf something and within a couple of years, nobody knows what the hell you did.
In the in our arc flash training yesterday, they give you like the distances that you know, like you've got like 2 or 3 distances of like this is this is that, and I'm like, what are those based on? Is like air resistance for like the arc or the heat going through or something? And he goes, no, human nature. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, well, if you're within a foot of the thing, you're going to have a tendency, even if you're not working on it, to stick your head in and fucking look at it and see what's going on and get electrocuted. If you're within 3 feet of the thing, you're going to have a tendency to try to point at something and put your hand somewhere it's not supposed to. Oh, all right. Yes. He's like, yeah, no, it's got nothing to do with like air resistance or like the arc or the heat coming through. No, it's all just human nature and what somebody's going to fucking do and they're not trying to.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I would say the half the conspiracies could be just attributed to somebody at his job, like at his or her job, fucking up and trying to cover it up so they don't get fired. Like, there's this grand conspiracy. Yeah, no, Jim in accounting got the math wrong and has been trying to bury that for years. It's like, what? It's like, yeah, he was worried about getting fired. He just like fudged it. Well, if you asked him that, would he ever say that? No, I did everything perfectly. I don't know what you're talking about. You guys are lying. Like, that's, I got to imagine that's like how half of it ends up. And when people again go like, that's not true. Remember, the government people is the largest employer in the country. Mm-hmm. The largest. So think how often that happens in your own job or at people that you work with. Like, you work with a customer and like, what'd you do? Nothing. What'd you do? Nothing. 3 weeks later, oh yeah, somebody might have accidentally maybe switched something around. We don't know how it happened.
We don't know who did it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely just like the cables just walked themselves across the room and swapped. Like,
let's check the auto log. Oh, yeah, we don't know what happened to the auto log either.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, now imagine that happening at a grand scale where the organization controls things in your everyday life. Of course, there's going to be shit that's like fucked up.
Yeah, human error happens everywhere.
And the funny thing to me is like, if we ever do get like a big enough following on this, the people on both ends of the spectrum will be reeing at me right now because like the conspiracies never happened, people, and everything's a conspiracy. People are going like, this guy's an idiot. It's like, no, you're both idiots. The answer's somewhere in the middle.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes the government does intentionally bad shit and they cover it up. That's called the CIA. But most of the time, I think it's just an accident. And they go, whoops, and then sweep that shit under the rug, and they're like, done. Hope nobody finds this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's made even worse because now, like, that the internet exists and we have AI to skim things, people are doing FOIA requests and getting documents and then having AI scan through it, and they're like, they've been lying to us. It's like,
yeah, no shit.
Yeah, no, that's just been in there the whole time, and some guy that no longer works for the government was hoping that you never found that shit. And now that you found it, that person is dead, and you can't ask them anyway, so they're just like, oh, the government covered it up. Like, no.
You see all the lawyers getting in trouble for using ChatGPT to do all their shit now? And it's doing it wrong.
Yeah, of course. Because people take the lazy action and then don't read things. Like, we'll the next time go into AI again because there was that Claude leak that happened that was hilarious. But like, yeah, using AI without like double checking it is just like insane.
It's dumb.
It's like using Wikipedia when it first came out and then not doing additional research. And even now, it's like using Wikipedia without doing additional research. Wikipedia is great, but like sometimes I read through some of the things and I'm like, yeah, no, let me go find a news article about this because this doesn't seem right.
When we were building my cousin's computer, he was using ChatGPT for like what steps to do it in and stuff, and that was pretty good. And then like we had a couple of like smaller issues when we were doing it, so we used ChatGPT like, what do we do? Oh, turn this on in the BIOS. Oh, okay, there we go. So that was actually fairly effective.
Yes, things that you could just get with a Google search.
Yep.
That's the thing that kills me. It's like it was and again we'll go into it probably the next time, but the way that AI works now is like AI is like a more targeted Google search. So the way I like to explain it to people, I'm like, if you're old enough to know, if you're too young, sorry, you don't have a frame of reference for this. But I would say that AI is to Google right now what Google was to Ask Jeeves when it came out.
Yep.
And everybody was using Ask Jeeves before Google came out. And as soon as Google got better, people switched from Ask to Google. And now the same thing is happening. AI's come out. People are starting to use it. It's starting to get it better. And people are going from Google to AI. But it's not like an astronomical leap. It's just a more targeted Google search.
Yeah.
And when people are like, that's not true. And I'm like, okay.
That's 100% true.
Yeah, you're not reading the gobbledygook that this thing spits out sometimes. They're like, no, it's hallucinating. I'm like, Google things in the incorrect way and then see what kind of AI hallucination you get from Google. You're like, yeah, let me get this. And Google's like, what's that? Here's a bunch of random shit. Yeah, AI does the same thing. You ask it the wrong targeted question and it just goes, here. Yeah. This is definitely what you meant. It's like,
Google shit the way I do on this podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll get weird answers.
We should be using AI to target some of that stuff a little bit faster, though. I laugh because that's what Asmongold does. He uses Grok.
Yeah?
Yeah, just Groks things in the middle of his stream.
Do you have to pay for Grok?
I do, yeah.
Do you have to?
You don't have to. For the limited amount of searches that we do, like it would
that's
probably
what I'm
be
saying.
Because
like I'm not going to pay for Grok, but if I could load it up on here, then
yeah.
That would work.
For the limited amount of searches that you have to do,
Grok is through X, right?
Yeah.
How do you actually?
Let's go to Grok.
Grok is its own separate thing.
Yeah. Grok is integrated into X.
Okay.
But Grok's just like ChatGPT.
How do I favorite this motherfucker? There we go. Done. Add it to the bar, motherfucker. Add it to the bar. Bookmarks bar.
But yeah, we'll go.
All right, and give me something to Ask Rock.
I'm gonna Ask Rock.
Yeah, give me something to Ask Rock.
Here, well, since we've been searching it today anyway, Ask Rock, why can't you see the lunar landing from Earth?
Hang on. I wonder if I can do this. Then we can actually just talk to fucking Grok.
Pretty good.
Where's talk?
Hello. It's not gonna hear me from this far. It's only gonna hear your mic.
No, it should hear both of us. No, I have it muted over here. All right. Now try.
Hello.
Okay, cool. It can hear both of us. All right. Allow all visiting the site. Go ahead.
Why can't you see the lunar landing from Earth?
Why didn't that work?
Figure it out later.
All right. Oh, no, it did work. It's just fucking slow. Okay.
Or you had to hit the button again so that it knew you were done talking.
Oh, is that what goes on? Okay. Do we make it talk to us, or do we have to read
look,
it?
see? But we looked it up, so now we know that it's true.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the resolution.
Yep. Yeah, the stage of the lunar landing modules was roughly 4 meters across, cannot be directly seen or resolved from Earth, even with the largest ground-based telescopes of the Hubble Space Telescope, primarily due to fundamental limits of angular resolution in optics and physics. They don't just zoom in. There's
and the Grok is probably the best one to ask this because of SpaceX. And like that's why people are like, why do you prefer Grok? I was like, because it's the integrated AI for an entire engineering company. I'm like, I don't care what you think about Elon. That's fine. Whatever. Who cares? But he's literally making his entire company of rocket scientists use that AI. Like, yeah, I'm going to trust that AI instead of ChatGPT, which, okay, ChatGPT is nice, but you know who's primarily using ChatGPT?
Dumb fucks.
Vibe coders, dude. And they're like, why is this code so fucked up? I'm like, what do you think?
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll go more into that next time because we got to cut this one a little short, folks, today. One, because we're testing something. But two, because my family's in town and I have to go out to breakfast with them. And Ray's been up all night and needs some sleep.
And then I have to wake up again and go back to work.
Yes, but yeah. So we'll get again together next week to talk about more of the craziness that went on. I'd rather talk about the Iran stuff after the whole ceasefire period is over. We'll see what happens.
See what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's too soon to talk about that right now. The Artemis thing just happened, and that's cool. And then then now, because Iran settled down, the Epstein file stuff is back again. So like we can talk about that too.
And then
what?
And then
what are you doing to me right now?
And then
I don't like. Stop it.
From Dude, Where's My Car?
Oh, I've never even seen that movie.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I'd have too many brain cells for that.
It's a fantastic film. How dare you?
And if you made it this far, you probably have a bit fewer brain cells. So, you know, if you lost enough to like us, subscribe, follow, hit that notification bell, share the show with everyone you know.
Check us out
especially if they have great moon conspiracy theories. Let them comment on this episode. I'd love to hear them and see them. With that being said, I also still do firmly believe we landed on the moon. Don't get me twisted. I have questions about certain things, but I firmly believe we did it. There's too many people involved that we didn't do it. But yeah, find us on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, and occasionally the TikTokies.
Mm-hmm. Hit us up on X. We have one. We just don't use it. Make us use it.
Yeah. We'll start doing all that this summer. When we do that, get a separate gaming channel started. Mm-hmm. That'll be fun.
Yeah, we'll start our hot girl summer.
No, our 7 days to die. But all right, we'll see you next week, folks.
So long.